Hey, it's me, your boy Blue Gatsuga, and today I'll be talking about some of the newest cards from, the most recent set. Actually, it's not really the newest cards, but again, I'm late when it comes to. I should say the newest as far as the new lore for the new sets. And yeah, they're made up of Sprigguns, they're made up of Tribrigades as well as Dogmatika. I don't know why I blanked so hard on that. Anyways, let's get started with the Spriggan cards. First, we have Spriggan Rocky. Is a level 4, and all of them have an effect to attach themselves to a Spriggan's Xyz monster, like this effect. Anyways, Spriggan Rocky's first effect is if this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one Spriggan's monster or Vast Desert Gold Gon wow, reading. Golgonda from your graveyard except Spriggan's Rocky. Add it to your hand. And then you have the second effect, which keep in mind all of them have. If this card is in your hand, field, or graveyard, you can target one Spriggan's Xyz monster you control, attach this card to it as material. Next we have Spriggan's Pede. You can tribute this card, then target one Spriggan's monster in your graveyard except Spriggan's Pede, special summon it. Which is really useful since you can just summon back your Xyz monster, and since all of them actually, attach themselves to the Xyz monster as material, you can essentially just summon your Xyz monster over and over again. Also, yeah, same effect as the other one. Next, we have Spriggan's Banger. If this card is in, right, same effect, but it's just placed first this time. You can banish both this card and one Spriggan's monster from your graveyard except Spriggan's Banger. Add one Spriggan's card from your deck to your hand. So that's pretty neat, especially if you manage to get this out with Machine Dupe, since this one has 500 attack. Oh, and Pete also is a Machine Dupe target. But since they have 500 less attack, you can actually Machine Dupe this, Xyz summon, or you could just use your field spell to get out your Xyz monster. I'll get right to that later. And then you can attach this card to it as material, get it in the graveyard pretty easily, especially with the Xyz monster's effect. And then with that, you can actually search. Next, we have Spriggan's Captain Sargus. And Sargus is another level 8. If this card is in your hand, field or graveyard, you can target one Spriggan's Xyz monster you control. Attach this card to it as material. Second effect, during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can attach one Xyz material from a monster you control, then target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. And this is actually one of the best cards in this deck. I say one of. But yeah, the cool thing about this card is it's a quick effect, and since it's very easy to get Xyz material onto your boss monster, you can easily apply this effect during either player's turn. And lastly, a Spriggan's Xyz monster with this card gains this effect. Gain 500 attack, which is a decent boost. And then we have your rank 8 Xyz monster, and it is called Spriggan's X-Blower. Choose one, and it requires 2+ level 8 monsters, but that's kind of irrelevant. Excuse me. Choose one monster zone or spell and trap zone on your opponent's field. Detach any number of materials from this card, and if you do, destroy cards your opponent control up to the number of materials you detached in that chosen zone or monster zones or spells and spell/trap zones to the top, bottom, or adjacent to that zone. During your opponent's main phase or battle phase quick effect, you can banish this card until the end phase. Both of these effects are pretty decent, and X-Blower is a pretty decent boss monster. Next, we have Sprigguns' Watch. Add one Vast Desert Gold Gondola from your deck to your hand. If you control Vast Desert Gold Gonda in your field zone, you can apply this effect instead. Add one Spriggan's monster from your deck to your hand, and send one Spriggan's monster from your deck to your graveyard. So this card could actually help you get to your field spell really fast, and if you already have the field spell, it can help you set up plays for your Xyz monster. Because if you have your field spell on the field already, you can use the field spell's effect, summon your Xyz monster, and then you add and send one Spriggan's monster from your deck to your graveyard or to your hand, and to your hand. So that's already 2 material for that Xyz monster that you have out on the field. Anyways, next we have their field spell. Spriggan's Xyz monsters on the field gain 1000 attack, and with the captain, that'd be an additional 500. So that'd be 1500 attack added to 1600 attack. So it'd be a 3100 beater. If you do not control a Spriggan's Xyz monster, you can discard one Spriggan's card, special summon one Spriggan's Xyz monster from your extra deck. If a face-up Xyz monster you control leaves the field by a card effect, meaning its own card effect as well, since the Xyz monster can actually remove itself from the field, you can target one monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack for the rest of this turn, and it's supposed to work in tandem with the boss monster. So that way you tag out, and then because of the field spell, you can actually prevent your opponent from attacking. And then we have one of their normal traps, Spriggan's Call. Target one Spriggan's monster or Fallen of Albaz in your graveyard, special summon it. That's pretty nice. Because you can also summon your other boss monster, the Captain, and the Captain has a really good card effect, and it allows you to detach just to pop on either player's turn. So, this card helps facilitate that play, as well as it works with Fallen of Albaz, meaning that you can just essentially super poly your opponent. And since this is another archetype of that lore of the of the Dogmatica lore, this archetype also comes with its own fusion. Its own Albaz fusion. And its second effect reads, during either player's turn, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card and one fusion monster from your graveyard. Then target one Spriggan's Xyz monster you control. Attach one fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz as a fusion material from your extra deck to the target as Xyz material. So essentially you can equip Titaniclad or that Beast fusion or their newest fusion, which I'll talk about later. And then if you detach, you get effects from them, because I think all of them have graveyard effects. But anyways. Lastly, I guess I shouldn't say lastly, because the fusion is technically the last, but also not really. But for the last trap, we have, if you control a Spriggan's monster, choose one main monster zone on your opponent's field. If there's a face-up monster in that zone, it cannot attack directly and its effects are negated until the end of this turn. If there is no monster in that zone, it cannot be used for the rest of this turn. If you control a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz as fusion material, you can choose 2 zones with this effect. This is an alright card. Next, we have the two new Tribrigade cards. You have Tribrigade Rendezvous, which reads, target any number of linked beast, beast warrior, winged beast monsters you control. They gain 700 attack until the end of this turn. If a linked beast Second effect, if a linked beast, beast warrior, winged beast monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. This card is pretty alright. I would say it's a good one or two of. And next we have another main deck Tribrigade monster, which which I like a lot. And it's Tribrigade Kit. You can banish any number of beast, beast warrior, winged beast monster in your graveyard. Special summon one beast, beast warrior, winged beast, link monster with the same rating as the number you're banished. That's worded weirdly. Basically, it has the same basic effect as all the other Tribrigade monsters. Main deck monsters. And for a second effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send one Tribrigade card from your deck to your graveyard except Tribrigade Kit, which is nice since you can use it to send that one trap that allows you to negate a face-up card from your deck to your grave, or you can send Naval and get a search off of Naval, or you can use the level 4 Beast Warrior to send this card, and then this card will send your Naval, and the Naval gets to search you another Tribrigade. And that's 3, I think there's 3 fodder in the graveyard for your plays. And for the last 2 cards, we have Splint the Steel Express Dragon, which is an Albaz fusion. Materials require 1 Albaz and 1 effect monster, special summoned this turn. During your main phase, you can move this card to another main monster zone on your field. You can destroy all other face-up cards in this card's current column. That's a pretty nice effect. I think they got this effect off of that one monster from the Brains anime. I think, one of Bit Boots monsters. Anyways, for a second effect, during the end phase, if this card is sent to the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can take one Sprigguns monster or Fallen of Albaz from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. And the good thing about this card is if you manage to have this attached to your Xyz monster's material, you can detach it, and during the end phase you can special summon the captain, and the captain can just blow things up on your end phase, and then on the start of your opponent's turn. And lastly, we have Tragma Genesis or Dogmatica Genesis. Target one banished Fusion Synchro Xyz or Link monster and one effect monster your opponent controls that is the same card type, Fusion Synchro Xyz or Link. Return the banished monster into the extra deck, and if again worded weirdly, and if you do, negate that card's effect. Negate the effect of that opponent's monster. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Tell me what you think about these cards. Anyways, it's me, your boy Blue Getsuga, and I'm out.